Right.
It's gonna take me a moment to do the standard whatever you call it,
Yeah.
like channel monetization, update the title, and so forth.
Okay.
Oh, for crying out loud! Hmm. And we have our
There's
first
about
visitor, RK, first person
there's
to tune in for a
about a
while.
20-second delay
20
between
second
this and the
delay.
YouTube one.
You what? So the stream itself is up to date, but there's like that small delay, is
Yeah.
there? Yeah, okay. Live streams, check. Monetization on, check. And now to ping everyone on Discord. Live streams. I really hope that Cremular character doesn't show up in the chat.
Oh yeah, he's a bit of a dick.
218 people in the server as of now. Not bad. Delete that one, delete that one, delete that one, delete that one, that one there. Turn on light appearance. A bit more light for the stream. There we are. Hopefully that all keeps up. There we go. Yeah, that seems to be working properly now.
Right.
Just give it a few more minutes for people to show up, I suppose. Then we'll be good to go. I wonder how many people are going to be confused as well, because again, it has been like a month, like 5 weeks or so since I last did a stream. So I reckon some people are going to see this ping and go, a live stream? Really? In this day and age?
Grief.
Hello, RK, by the way, I saw you appear earlier. Gonna hopefully get some more people in. Oh.
Lucas Aid.
The better orange drink.
I mean that's fine because Iron Brew isn't an orange drink.
What colour is the drink itself?
Yeah, but Lucas Aid is orange flavored unless it's original. Original Lucas Aid is just like I assume it's battery acid or something.
I think I tried original Lucasade maybe once. I don't remember what it tastes like. I don't know if I'm misremembering this with something else, but I think it was either that or Monster Energy, where I only tried it once, and it tasted of like super condensed Haribo. It was like a really
Yeah,
sweet, teeth rottening taste. It was minging.
it's an acquired taste.
No, I don't need any of that.
Not not like beautiful, lovely Iron Brew. If more people drunk Iron Brew in the world, there will be less disease and famine.
Just quickly going through the server because why not? Since I'm
Yeah.
figuring things out. Oh, that reminds me as well. I also said I would do another Q&A live stream in the future for reaching 4,000 subscribers on YouTube. That's something I've never really cared about, to be honest. It's just an extra thing to do, but I've not made a post or any kind of dedicated thing to say, ask your questions here, or it's going to happen on this day.
I get you.
Might do it next year. I don't know. We're a little bit. I'm a little bit over now, but at the same time, it's like that window's probably come and gone. I mean, I probably could still do it. I just, I don't know. Where is it? Just so long as it doesn't happen with the last Q&A one I did, where it was like 2.5 hours long, and I had to abruptly end it because I needed to go take a shit. Damn, that's not a bad idea. Let me try pinging other servers to see if I can get anyone interested. Speaking of having mentioned the Fallout tab's going. Yep. Very good. Is that Brotherhood of Steel in general, or is that any particular chapter?
These are all little comics I made when I used to run a Fallout group on Facebook.
Oh, yeah. Oh, these are your comics.
Yeah, they're edited comics that other people have made, but they're all ones I've adapted years ago.
Oh yeah. So that's not your artwork. How could you?
A lot of them are very anti Fallout 4 and 76.
So hello to This Is a Duck. Hello Lego Railway Series. Good to see more people arriving on the stream. Yes. Speaking of a lot of stuff. What was I going to say a moment ago? That was it. Was all related to this bit too. With the whole Christmas shopping wiping me dry. Sorry, I've still got the Fallout tab up as well. Not unreasonable. Yeah, so because of the Christmas shopping basically wiping me dry, money-wise, it's been quite frustrating in the sense that because of my job I get paid weekly, but it comes in and out like so frequently. And I've kind of decided to try and sell on my 2 Fallout Pip-Boy props. But the problem is, one of them is from Fallout 4 and the other one is Fallout 76. I think the 4 one might get, well, I say that, the Fallout 4 one might be a bit more popular because more people care for 4 than 76. But looking at Facebook Marketplace, I posted them earlier today. The Fallout 4 listing has just 10 people clicked on it. And apparently with the 76 one, there's only 700 people who clicked on it and have a look at it for the past few hours. Like, fucking hell. Really? It's genuinely a really nice, that's like that. The 76 one is my favourite Pip-Boy design.
I can't believe all 700 people who play Fallout 76 have actually clicked on the picture.
I think it's about 200 now. I don't actually know how many people are still playing that game. I left it like a year ago, like not too long before the Alien expansion. Mothership Zeta still the best DLC. You can't come at me. Well, it's fine. You can judge me with a baseball bat later on.
Okay.
Hello to Seth Bricht. Cobbs 289. Were the Glasgow subway trains inspired by Isaac Smith's tube trains?
No, they were reverse engineers, and I stole them.
I actually forgot that Isaac made a tube train. It was like the very first Lego train video he did.
Yeah, what happened was when I wanted to first start making subway trains, I looked on Google Images, and one of those popped up. So I just got that Google image and reverse engineered it. And then a month later, I joined LNUR and was like, "Here's my Glasgow subway train I built." And then Isaac was like, "I recognise that design from somewhere."
Did you actually meet Isaac? Was it like Sheldon a couple of years ago where you met him, or?
I've met him once. Yes.
Lucky you. Shame he left the hobby. It's still a shame he left because I reckon he would be really cool to just chat with him again.
Yeah, he might come back. You never know.
Well, he's busy with animation, so hopefully,
But
if anything, at least hopefully that goes well. He posted I don't know, maybe it was like 2 years ago now at this point, but he posted a thing where it was like a minute long of snippets from animations he's been doing, and I don't know if that's just for his work or if it was for YouTube, but that's like the last time we've really heard from him. Well, online at least.
yeah,
This is a Duck says, are we still doing more interviews? Those really love those. Yes, more podcasts are still happening. I need to find the right people for them. I'm not too sure who I want to really do one with next. There are still plenty of people to actually do them with. It's just, saying to them, hey, do you want to do it? And finding a good time to do the recording. So I don't have anyone
that's,
lined up yet, but I'm trying to avoid clubmates because there's another project going on for that.
you could ask me, but that'd be a terrible idea.
I mean, it's not a terrible idea because you've pitched a really good idea with the dual host thing, which is something that I am really keen for. So in the new year, when we get things figured out, we'll try and get some sessions recorded there for that project.
Yeah.
RK, Luke, can we pitch ideas for the community challenge next year? I mean, you can. They need to. Did you ever, Chris? Did you ever care for the community challenge thing that I did? I remember you taking part in the first few.
I took part in the ones that I could be really lazy and just keep entering the same layout picture.
The problem is they were all different themes, but you had something for every
But it
theme.
worked.
Yeah. Something for Steam, something for Diesel. You had something for narrow gauge. Obviously, a bloody big layout. And
It's when I built something new when it was like, nope, no challenge for me.
yeah, it went during the second season. It got renamed to Community Challenge and Showcase. So the first time round was the Showcase. The second season was more challenge. So you had to build something new basically, and nobody liked it. We got a couple of people entering each month, but it was way less than the first round, the first season rather. So yeah, I need to try and think of what I'm going to do for season 3. I've got 2 ideas written down. One I'm really keen on, and one is just like a filler. But yeah, if you have any ideas, you can chuck them in the Discord, for example. Just so long as it's not like corporate sponsorship, like just so you can sneak in your Iron Brew Gronks again, just as a way of getting away with it.
Yeah. Iron Brew belongs everywhere. It's universal. It's not like some common nasty drink like Lucasade.
Still waiting on that sponsorship. Oh well.
Good luck.
Yeah, one day. Cobb says, I did take slight inspiration from some train I did with that scale. Glasgow, or not Glasgow, but a subway train, I'm guessing. Would you ever make a subway train? Would you ever make one wider than 6 wide, or are they just naturally that small anyways?
Well, the above ground stuff I do is 7 wide, and the real life Glasgow subway trains are very small. If compared to a London Underground, they're tiny. So it kind of works if you keep them at 6 scale. Sort of. I mean, the scale's probably way off still, but
Yeah.
in my head it makes sense.
I mean, if it works for
Plus,
you, that's all you really need.
that's it. Plus, I'd have to rebuild the station widths, and for the platforms would have to be smaller if I had to make the train tunnels wider. And it's not a lot of work. It's just I can't be bothered.
Yeah, fair enough.
I have got a new the new white trains that are coming out next year. I've got a model of that I'm designing.
New white trains? What?
The
Oh, the
Glasgow
small creator
subway.
ones. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they've got next year. They've got the driverless ones, and so I've got a model of that coming out. But those may have to be 7 wide.
So hang on. So you're using the sets to kind of use the parts for your model. Is that it?
Which set?
You said the white train sets, like the 4 wide creator sets,
No, 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 no,
or the
no.
city ones from like a decade ago.
No, no. They'll be. It's all custom made.
White train sets from next year. What?
The new they call the Glasgow subway call their trains sets.
Oh,
It's a
you
bit
want
odd.
about real? Oh, I thought you want about
Yes,
Lego
yeah,
sets. Oh, bloody Nora.
yeah.
Right. Okay.
So, but I'm making a Lego version of their sets.
Okay. And that's going to be built 7 wide.
Yes,
Okay.
I've tried. There is a 6 wide version, but
Just doesn't
it
work.
looks okay, and then you put the train wheels underneath, and it looks like it's on stilts, so it doesn't work.
Fair enough. That's Niagara Guy. Hello, good to see you. Seth, I was thinking of something like make a Railway Series character that didn't appear in the TV series, but in a TV series style. Yeah, the issue with the Thomas character community challenge theme was when I did it, I don't think it got like 2, maybe 3 submissions, and one of the submissions, the models that were submitted, I should say, was of a small black 040 saddle tank engine, a basic model from a character that appears in the background in one illustration in one book. I was expecting to see like plenty of models of Thomas and Percy, like the main characters. Instead, one of the models that was submitted was some background character that nobody knew or cared about. And after so long of not getting anything else, I thought, fuck it, I'm done. Because it's got no interest. The only model submitted, I can't say this without making myself sound like a piece of shit, but you know what I mean though. You were hoping for one thing, but you get something else, and after going so long without anything else being submitted, I can't then go on to make the video and say, okay, this is the only model submitted that's supposed to represent the Thomas character theme, and it's something from the background for one illustration that if nobody read the books, nobody would know or even care that that was a thing.
Yeah, I
So
know nothing about the books.
I don't either. So if someone made a Thomas character model and said this is this character, I would have to assume that it's either from the books or it's a custom character if it's not one I'm immediately familiar with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know what Seth Bricks could make. He could make underground Ernie trains. They're great.
Ernie trains.
Have you not seen Underground Ernie? It's horrible.
Right. To the internet. Underground.
It's like a really
Ernie.
low budget CGI underground train kids show thing. It's horrible.
Oh, this looks familiar.
Yeah. It's nightmare fuel.
Yeah, I'm looking at one of the main pictures. There's a green train with like a caterpillar coming. I remember Sam's Trains doing a review
Oh
of a
god,
model of that.
yeah, the
That's where I
eyes move
recognise
when
that.
it rolls.
Chuggington. That's one I haven't watched Chuggington, but I'm sort of like familiar. I can remember the name.
Oh
Oh
god,
my
chugging.
god, one of
Oh
the
good god.
characters is an A4.
Now
It
you've got
has
to
its
do it.
own mallard. Oh, I don't know if I want to watch any of this just to see what this was like.
Don't do it. Don't do it. I watched an episode, and before I did, I had hair.
Fair enough. God, so many characters. RK says, Luke, have you ever considered building a steam electric hybrid? Or maybe a diesel electric, steam diesel hybrid. I remember seeing the steam electric hybrid engine before, and I was tempted to make that, but this was years ago.
Was that the
There's not,
Swiss one?
yeah, the Swiss one.
It's so
I
weird.
I remember I can't actually fully remember the idea of wanting to build it. I think this was at a point where I'd made a load of engines in a row, and I thought, right, I want to make something more wacky this time. Let's just see what else is out there. Saw the steam electric hybrid, and just again, because this was years ago, I was much younger, didn't question it. I thought, that's weird, let's make that. But that never came to be.
It looks like a Ginty crashed into a clothes horse. Yes, Ed the Shed says
Hello.
Gronk's up. He is right. Hooray!
Hello, Ed. Hello, Gronks. Can't live with them, can't live without them. Ruddy things. They're everywhere. This is a duck says it was the only train thing on TV other than Thomas when I was young, then stopped and replaced Chuggington. I remember speaking with someone. What was it? I can't remember which group this was with, but I remember speaking with other Lego fans just about something for a while. Eventually, started speaking with one of the people in the group. She had this. This was an older woman who had kids, and we were just again just talking about Lego. And I mentioned, oh yeah, I've made. We were just talking about what we were making, and eventually I brought up the Thomas characters, and she said, "Oh, I never put on Thomas. Instead, we watched Chuggington." And when I saw that text, I was like, "Oh, how are you gonna do me like that? You never watched Thomas. Instead, you torture them with Chuggington."
Should have just blocked it.
Don't worry, this was long ago as well. Hello to
Talking of
Tonks Trains. Hello, good to see you. Seth
talking of
says, "Yeah, I understand that about Thomas characters. Yeah, there's just it's. I'll tell you what. This is one of those moments where it would have been helpful to have the stream open. I went up to the post office. Sorry, Seth just said, I'll die before I make any sort of underground train.
Oh, rest in peace.
It was nice knowing you, Seth. Anyway, I went to the post office collection office this morning, only to find out that Royal Mail was once again on strike today. So came back to basically nothing. Hello, Union Pacific fan. Good to see you. Tonks, yes, I have. I will talk about that in just a moment. But I was hoping to complete a couple of models today, and I can go and fetch said models because I can't be asked to not show them off for any longer. So give me just one moment.
Okay. Right, guys, while he's gone, it's the Glasgow Brick Subway Show. Hooray! It's time for Gronks and Subway Trains. Do 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 do.
You're saying and doing all this as if I can't hear you.
God damn it.
You do remember me saying I don't have headphones on, I've got volume coming out of the PC in order for the stream to hear you.
Worth it.
Yeah, that's not bad. Somebody clip that, we'll make that a thing. That'll be a stream highlight to go on the channel later. Anyway, back to this. Yeah, so another round of Thomas characters is being made. I've got 3 models in so far. Basically, the eBay order that I was hoping to collect this morning, I'm going to have to collect tomorrow, was a couple more faces. The first one is something for Trace. It's Busy Bee James. Something that was actually quite easy to make because it's basically I'm replicating a model I've already made, and I had the part. Thankfully, I'm trying to get used to making models where I don't have to make bricklink orders. So what you can't see, well, maybe if I shine like the light on the splashes just a little bit, you can maybe see that's on some of the yellow sections. I've actually got black trimline tape on there because I don't have the appropriate small yellow parts to be able to make it. And again, I don't want to have to make any brick. I don't want to have to make any bricklink orders because I'm running out of money. I'm also trying to be careful with what models I make next too, because again, if I have to order wheels for it, that means I'm gonna have to spend more money because again, everything's just so really expensive.
Was that the locomotive actually in an episode, or was it just kind of like a?
So it was only like the day after I built this, or maybe the like later, because I was building this the weekend after I actually made this, because I was making this during a lug call like the weekend after Bristol Brick Show, and this did appear in one episode. It was like not James, Percy is temporarily a controller, and he goes around to other characters, other engines, and says, "You need to do this," but he says it in a way where it's a bit confusing. And he says to James, "You need to be a busy bee," instead of saying he needs to be as busy as a bee. So James says, "Do I need to be painted black and yellow?" And Percy goes, "Yes," and it results in him looking like this. And for whatever reason, Busy Bee James is a livery that's a lot of Thomas fans are still quite keen with, in the sense that they'll have normal versions of all the characters, but if they're going to have one alternate livery like one special version of a character, it'll be Busy Bee James, which is weird.
Fair enough.
But yeah, no face. I was hoping to do that today. I'm gonna have to do that tomorrow. And the other one, making sure. I need to make sure as well. I've learned from my mistake with the Hogwarts Express sets, having it upright like this on the edge of my bed because it rolled forward and broke. So I'm purposefully either putting it on its side or I'm just going to move it backwards. I might have to do both just to doubly make sure. Oh, there we go.
Get off. Do it.
No, I've already gone through that pain once. Don't need to do that again.
Do it again.
Anyway, the other model is Green Thomas from The Adventure Begins. Now, I didn't.
Oh, that's the best series.
What, The Adventure Begins?
No, I'm thinking of the newest series with all the cartoony stuff.
The reboot. That's like a year old now.
It's so good. Everybody loves it.
Everybody loves it for shitting on it, sure. But yeah, so this is Green Thomas from the 2015 film The Adventure Begins. I didn't want to make this originally because
It could be blue to me. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, right, trying to remember what I say before you distract me every 5 seconds. The model, model used for the film, it's not this sort of this. So this is normal Lego green, and I went ahead with this shade of green because there's so many parts available that I could comfortably go ahead and make the model.
Dark green's £1 million a piece.
Yeah, it's like a sand green sort of model, sort of shade. It's
Oh,
a
okay.
bit weird, but the thing is, I can't find a shade of green, like sand green, forget turquoise green or whatever else, that has enough parts to actually make this kind of model. So I was kind of forced into using regular green. It still looks good. I'm thankful as well that's the LBSC and the 70 on the side of the model is actually in yellow. So that saves me having to buy another letter sheet in a different color. But yeah,
Yeah,
it
I
turned
mean,
out quite nice. The one thing I actually don't like something about this because this was another model because I've made another model of Thomas, so this is basically recreating it. But the
hmm,
front section here looks really square and sort of basic. The way I've done this top section of the boiler, I actually wasn't too happy with that, but I only started thinking to myself I might remake it like a couple of days after the model was done and lined. I can't really be bothered to go back and amend it anyways. It's just, it's not as good as I know I can build, but I can't be asked to change it either.
I my advice is leave it as it is.
Yeah, and I intend to do that.
That's the best way.
So yeah, tomorrow morning I'm gonna go to the post office, get the parcel, two more toys to rip the faces off to put onto this one, and I'll get the video recorded tomorrow to go on YouTube, which will be pretty good. It's actually I was thinking about trying to make some kind of special video as well, in the sense that when you're playing a video game, like an action video game, you're in a character menu, like select character, you got your character, and then you got character skins.
Yeah.
I might try and work on making some kind of edited video where it uses these two models of Thomas and James. I don't know how well I'm actually going to be able to do that. I mean, it probably could work. I just need to make. It's like getting. I think if anything, it's just either getting or making the sound effects.
Yeah, give it a go. I'll tell you what you need. You need a character to dress up as, like El Cheapo.
Hmm. That is still something I remember pitching a while back, having mentioned El Cheapo. Um, I remember saying, I think it was on like either a commute, might have been both, just made a post in a couple of different places, saying I would obviously Lego branded train sets are things I've reviewed so many. I got so many different products. I've done loads of them, but I've also um, recorded videos and did reviews of other brand like Lego compatible train sets. And I said if there's any out there that that is purposefully cheap, so I don't know, like a decent size set, but it's 20 quid, not including shipping or anything, like, or maybe even including shipping, like free shipping or whatever. If it's like a really cheap set, I don't mind buying one to do a review for. But I would love to. I was at the time at least interested in trying to do my own El Cheapo character.
Just don't do an accent, and you'll be fine.
I might do it the other way around, where I just it's not so much El Cheapo, but it's just Scrooge, like trench coat, scarf, top hat. I've got my top hat back there, like in the storage area behind all the computer stuff, so I could just dig that out and kind of just scoff at the model set as I'm reviewing it. So it could work.
Great.
RK says, now we need Shooting Star Gordon. I am not going to make that model because
What's a
I.
shooting star Gordon?
So, in the 2016 film The Great Race, the character of Gordon was streamlined to take place in the titular event. And
Okay.
the model looks quite cool. Fascinatingly, is British locomotive. But when
Mm.
he became streamlined, they used an American locomotive for the streamlined design. So he went from being British to being built American, which is quite amusing.
Have a look.
And again, this is another case where Gordon is built in a color that's not easy to build in because he uses more light blue than normal blue. And because Lego, for whatever reason, make six different shades of light blue, I don't know how many bricks are available per shade of light blue that I could practically use. So originally I was going to go, okay, instead I'll just use normal blue and dark blue for the secondary color, because it's like a light blue and normal blue mainly, but instead I'll use normal blue and dark blue instead, which will be a lot easier. But even then, just trying to get the shape to where I just think about it, it became a little bit overwhelming. And because of how on and off the idea has been for me to actually want to make Streamlined Gordon, I just passed. I thought, you know what, I just can't be bothered anymore. I'm not going to really do that anymore. So it was going to happen, but I just conceded to the idea. I might give it a try another day in the future, but right now, I just, I just I'm not ready for it.
Yeah. The colour scheme they've given it, it reminds me of a stuntman, kind of like an Evil Knievel
Yeah.
thing.
I even got, because at the front of the model there's like a silver star as well. I was able to go into Wilco and just grab a star sticker sheet. It's got like 100 different star stickers on it, but I'm only ever going to use 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might give it a try one day. Who knows?
What not?
RK says, I think you should put some Batman logos on B. James. Turn him into Bat James. Um, who is? Oh, that reminds me. No, I'm not going to do that. But I do remember seeing someone make a sort of Batman livery Thomas model. I don't know who it was, but I remember seeing it was either a picture on
Holy cow,
Flickr.
Thomas.
Sorry, what was that, Chris?
Holy cow, Thomas. 60s Batman reference.
Yeah, I'm too young for that. I'm not gonna.
So am I.
But yeah, I remember seeing someone build a Lego. It was basically Thomas the Tank Engine, all in black, and instead of the number 1 on the side, it was like a Batman logo. I can't remember if it was Flickr or YouTube or both, but it was not a bad model.
You could
This is a
shine a
duck.
light.
Ooh, sorry, go on.
You can shine a light at it and pretend it's the bat signal.
What hold up? What hold up a model of Thomas like that with a torch behind it to make like a silhouette
Yeah.
tank engine silhouette?
Could be Commissioner Topham Hat.
Commissioner, yeah. Just as long as the light isn't a UV light, I don't want it to yellow my bricks. Maybe that's possible.
Yeah.
This is a duck says, buy blue bricks and leave them to discolor in the sun. That's actually something I wanted to try because, well, maybe not with particular colored bricks, but I remember seeing on Facebook someone had used some, like the normal light transparent pieces, like window pieces.
Mm.
Someone claimed that they grabbed all the pieces that came in light trans clear, put them
Yeah.
outside to let them yellow, to get the same or at least a very close shade of like transparent yellow that was used in classic space.
Oh, okay.
So that's, yeah, it was quite interesting. I was trying to I remember trying to get that to work, but we live in the UK. I have to wait until June for the sun to come back out.
What's this sun you talk of?
It's a big yellow ball in the sky
the
that apparently gives off heat.
Yeah. The other problem is with bricks that aren't trans, is that you'd have to like leave it out for a day on one side, and then you'd have to leave it another day turned over and
That was
try
the
and get
thing
them.
as well, yeah. Just figuring out how long it was going to take.
Yeah. It's like trying to get the perfect tan.
Yeah. I think I don't know if I'm going to do it with any particular color of bricks because if you yellow the bricks, you might not get the desired color that you might think you will. There is a way of reversing the coloring effect by using a couple of chemicals and leaving that in the sun as well. But
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. I've painted and modified bricks before, but purposefully discoloring them, no, I'm not going to do that.
I personally would never cut up or paint bricks. I've never done that.
I
If you
can't
believe that,
tell if you're
believe
being
it.
sarcastic or not. With the way you said that, I've never cut up bricks before.
Nope, definitely not.
You sus. Yeah, I definitely have. What bricks have I actually? I've cut up base plates before. I'm trying to think because I've painted. I only ever paint. Well, I've painted train wheels, and I've painted train window frames. I remember buying a couple of dozen of the purple train windows that came with the old Harry Potter Night Bus set. Specifically, I bought really old discolored ones because I was going to paint them in red anyways. So I may as well get some that are basically knackered. So I remember doing that. But in terms of actually cutting or modifying bricks, uh, I don't think I have. You know, you've well, I have cut like the tube stuff. You know, you get a long tube piece, you cut that to a certain length for a particular model. I've done that loads of times. So many people have done that.
Yeah, that doesn't count. That's fine.
I mean, I've cut again. I've cut a base plate before, but can't remember any of the bricks.
I've
Yes,
needed.
okay. I remember the last time when I cut a base plate, it did not go too well.
Yeah, he cut his thumb off.
It
He
was
has.
this thumb as well.
This is a little secret for all you guys out there. Um, he has a bionic thumb. It cost the NHS £50 million, and that's why we're striking for more money because we ain't got any left.
Yeah, this thumb is the sole reason they were only given a 1% pay rise back in the day.
Ironically, when we got the pay rise, he was all like, "Yay, thumbs up!" and we were like, "No, boo that thumb, boo!"
Ready to perform an amputation on that thumb right there.
I once I needed one by one plate, so I cut a 1 by 2 plate in half instead of like ordering, because why would I order a
The
single
thing
piece?
is, it's so stupid, but I've been so tempted to do that a couple of times as well.
Yeah,
Tempted, never went ahead with it, but tempted.
oh, it's easy enough. If it's built against the back
Ooh.
of something outside, no one will ever know.
Yeah, you just got to rotate it the right way. And with the whole base plate thing too, I have
Base
cut
plates,
up
base plates.
I have cut up a couple of other base plates since then. It was something I wanted to try out in preparation for Bristol Brick Show, and I learned from my mistakes, kept my hand out of the way. It was all good. The base plate surgery was successful, but the idea was completely. It wasn't unsuccessful, but it didn't actually work. So the idea I had was for Bristol Brick Show. This was the last time that this layout version was going to be taken anywhere, anyways. Well, out in public at least. So
Hmm.
it was the tables I got didn't have any lips on them, which was excellent. And I think it was either because I'm just conditioned to experience derailments because of the club is, well, at least with the southern layout, there's just so many collisions and crashes. Or if I don't know if
Right.
it was just because at members weekend I was given tables with lips on them, so I had to keep engines slow to make sure there was no derailments. But the idea was to have a couple of strips from the off-brand base plates to be built up around the corners of each of the four corners on the layout. And with the massive stack of 2x4 black bricks that I've got, would basically build up a shield to potentially, like, if for whatever reason one of the trains was derailed on the corner, it would hopefully catch it into the wall before it went off the table, giving me a moment to be able to catch the train and stop it all before it went off. So it worked in the sense that the shields never needed to be used, but that also means that the shields didn't work because it was never going to happen. The only time it crashed was somewhere on the straight section, so that was completely nullified anyways. But the embarrassing thing, it should be visible in one of the videos I did about Bristol Brick Show, where I'm doing
Yeah.
like one last layout tour. You can see like the brick wall it's like the shield wall is supposed to be like 6 bricks high, but well, it's weird because again, there's loads of 2x4 bricks. Well, technically they're being used now, but when you have that sort of mountain of bricks in front of you, oh my god, that's a lot. You know, be able to make something with that. But the walls were not that long. They were barely, again, like only 6 bricks tall. And when I put them into place for that weekend, putting them next to the track and seeing how tall the engines were compared to the actual walls, I thought, oh bugger, I really hope nothing crashes because I don't think that wall will do anything. It was a bit pitiful to be honest, but again, I got lucky in the sense that nothing crashed on the corners, so got good. The frustrating thing as well is the way I made that wall was again 2x4 bricks, but instead of it being sort of half and half, they were kind of held onto each other with the end studs of each brick. So there was a 2 stud gap in the middle, and that is actually really weak. Oh, hello.
Sorry, I lost you for a second.
Oh, don't worry. I'm just talking. I thought I bored you to death for a moment. Just talking about my derailment shields.
Oh.
Basically, they were weak. Yeah, that's all we need to know.
Yeah. I talking to the cut up base plates, I had some of these base plates that I didn't care for, and I cut them up into strips, and I use them for banking on my curves. And then I can send the subway trains a lot quicker, and they don't tip over. Then it works quite nicely.
Speaking of going around the track quicker, when you came to Avon Valley last year, do you remember the guy who had his train go on the layout, and as he was going along the straight, the door was suddenly like slowly opening, and as
it's fantastic!
Yeah.
It was like it was timed.
And so it was going down the straight section, and a door on the side was just slowly opening on its own. And at the time, I only had the standard R40 curves. And as it dashed around the curve, the door would kind of slam shut. And as it got to the other side on the other long straight section, you could see the door opening again. It just did that for every single time it went on the long section. It was quite funny.
It was fantastic. It was like there was a little person inside doing it on purpose.
It was pretty good.
I can still remember your face when I plonked the Ironbrew Gronk on the table.
I'm talking with someone. You plonk it on the table. I see, who's that messing on the table? I look up and I just see you smile and say hello. It's like, right, come here. It's still interesting how I think at the time, like it was either not so much planned, but you were chatting with either Will or Carter to say, should one of us go down to Avon Valley? Like I think it was discussed beforehand. And yeah, that was the very first time I met the legendary Glasgowbricksubway in person.
It did. It was a rare occurrence when I come out of my tunnels.
You came to Bristol again a few weeks ago too. Sadly, you were only passing through.
Yeah, I made a mistake of going at having the break at like 8 o'clock in the morning when nothing was open.
I think how was because you went from you went to Bristol to go abroad, was it?
We went to St Ives in Cornwall.
Oh, it was only in Cornwall. I remember
was sort of the halfway point.
I don't know how many pictures or videos you posted from your holiday there, but I remember only seeing one video of you trying to talk, saying, "Oh, it's lovely here," but it's so like loud, rushing wind. Just yes, it's lovely. Trying to convince you it's lovely. Ignore the wind.
I think I shouted, and as you can see, the weather is really nice, and there's not a cloud in the sky.
Oh boy.
Fun.
So Tonks Trains, I have seen your comments a couple of times. I will answer it now. Do you plan on building any Lego Choo Choo Charles locomotives?
What the hell's that?
So Choo Choo Charles is a video game that came out 2 days ago. It is basically a tank engine with spider legs and a very creepy face for the smokebox door.
Oh, I think I saw that when it was
That
being
one, yeah.
developed.
Apparently, you can finish the game in like 2 hours.
Okay.
So it should be a quick playthrough, like something you can do in a day. Um,
Yeah.
I would like to actually play the game. Just not quite ready to. It's only like £16 or so, but I'd have to buy a Steam gift
£16?
card. Yeah, the thing is, well, for me, I can't just buy it through PayPal because I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, I would like to
Don't they know there's a
probably.
recession on?
Sorry, did they know there was a recession on? Is that what you said?
Yeah, don't they know? £16.
Very
A,
Tory
lo-
of them.
a loaf of bread's about a fiver now.
But yeah, it's as a game, I would like to try it one day. I'll have to look into it maybe after Christmas or in the new year. But I am tempted, because I remember when I saw the first trailer a couple of months back, it's its own stupid thing. Or just, a massive, like, well, not so much massive, but, it's a tank engine with spider legs.
Yeah.
Be very different thing to see in comparison to. I wonder what kind of reactions that will get when I go to Lego shows. Get like a special horror face made for the front, just a tank engine with monstrous spider legs on it, and Thomas is coming past, and as soon as it goes past the corner, and the train has come and gone, in the background they just see this horrible spider leg train. Mummy,
If
what's that supposed to be?
if you could get the legs to walk, that'd be even better.
I think if I was going to do that, I would probably, well, not me, so to say, but make it a bit bigger, have Technic functionality to it, and make it the sort of same size as you would a Robot Wars Technic robot, sort of that sort of
Okay.
size. Just so it's functional enough to get all the power functions in there to actually get it to walk.
I'll get you.
But
I
yeah,
mean,
so go. Sorry, you gonna say something?
the way the hobby's going at the minute, everyone's going to like 8 and 9 wide. Give it a few years, and that'll be the scale everyone's building anyway.
20 studs wide on narrow gauge track as well. That reminds me of something else. I'll get to that in a second. But speaking of Steam, just to get this out of the way, I remember a long while ago I unintentionally refunded Fallout 3 a couple of years ago on the
That's
basis that
perfect.
my that I cannot use PayPal on Steam anymore because of this. I remember one day just looking through online banking, just checking everything, everything's okay, and I see a £15 transaction that I thought I haven't spent. It doesn't say who it came from, like where was it going, why is that there? Spoke with PayPal, got it all sorted. I think it was later that day. I go into Steam, I see Fallout 3 was kind of grayed out, and I had to kind of rebuy the game. But I paid for the game and bought it months ago before it eventually came up online. So because of that, well, first of all, that couple of months or so delay, between me buying the game and officially getting not so much the receipts, but the proof of saying yes, I bought it, led to so much confusion to the point where, because it was like a forced refund, that's the only way I can really describe it. It was enough for Steam to deactivate me using PayPal on Steam. So if I want to buy any more games on there or anything else on Steam at all, I have to get gift cards. And it's not easy to find gift cards because you can't apparently just buy them on Steam. You have to actually go out to a store, get a gift card. But there's like 2 game stores on the high street that's placed right next to me. Neither of them sell gift cards. Full stop.
Have you got a HMV nearby? They tend to do them.
There is one. I think it's the Wilco store near me that sells them.
Okay.
There is a store near me that sells them. Otherwise, I'd have to go into the city centre, and that's a half-hour bus ride there and back just to get a ready gift card.
Buses,
It's just stupid. Steam is so stupid sometimes.
yeah.
Speaking of video games, I raged uninstalled Left 4 Dead 2 about a month ago. I gave up. I just cannot handle that sodding game anymore. it's not so much the game itself. Left 4 Dead 2 is a team game, and I
Yeah,
swear to God, nobody these days knows how to actually play that game. There are some people that know what they're doing, but it's so rare to jump into those lobbies with those players. And
you'd, you'd
because I've
hate to
been
play with
playing
me.
on, sorry, I need to what?
You would hate to play with me. I just run it like the witch and get killed.
But there are a lot of players that do that, like intentional sabotage. They don't know what they're doing. Oh, it's the wish. Let me try and kill that, and they get downed, and it causes the team to lose.
No,
And
I don't do it on purpose. I'm just that rubbish at it.
yeah, there are one thing in particular is I've been playing. Well, I've been leaning more so to playing on modded servers, just because it gives you so much more in terms of playability compared to a regular server.
Yeah.
But it's just because it's a team game. I think this is why I stopped playing Call of Duty online, because
Oh
having
god.
to rely on your team is awful because
The
you know
worst
how
thing
good
about
you
Call of
are. But if it ever gets to the point where a bad player, like if you know you're not that good and you're the best player on the team,
mm,
you're gunted. Just everything
yeah,
gone.
I think the worst thing about that is that all your teammates are about 13 years old.
Yeah, one thing that's good about Left 4 Dead 2 is you can do a vote. There's a vote system in the game to change chapters, restart the round, kick a player, so forth. The
Yeah.
kick a player one is quite good because you can get rid of the shitters quite quickly, and it's particularly
Mm,
so if someone's got an open mic. If someone's blowing down music down the mic, they're gone
oh,
pretty much instantly. If someone
yeah.
plugs in a mic and accidentally reveals that they're a kid, they're gone as well. But one thing that's really annoying is there's been more and more instances of people who play Left 4 Dead 2. There's going to be them and someone else who's playing with them. So if you're on a team with them and you want to kick them because they're shit, one of the people is going to say no, don't kick them, and that results in a tie, which means they don't get kicked, and then there's arguments, and it just ruins the fun. It's just
Yeah.
moments like that just ultimately killed me wanting to play that game anymore because, again, I don't know if it's just Left 4 Dead specifically. I mean, maybe if I jump back into Call of Duty Online, some people might be a bit better, but I don't know. It's an old game, but people,
Yeah.
not good.
Could be worse. You could be somebody who's got a natural high pitched voice and you're actually of age, but everyone thinks you're a kid and kicks you off all the time.
Just don't plug in the mic then.
Well, yeah.
Just to keep up with chat. Union Pacific fan says, I'm not sure how to streamline my 2882. I used the T1 boiler for it. Well, if you've used the boiler for it, then that's fine because it's got the shark nose front. Streamlining, well, making any kind of custom engine to begin with is difficult. Trying to get a good streamline design for something is even harder because you're having to find out what shape works best. And because you've got no real life reference to go on, it's going to be harder. But if you've already made something that has, you remove the shark nose. Uh, just play around with a bunch of slope bricks, really. It's a simple and stupid answer, but it's just a natural thing with Lego. Just play around with some of the bricks and see what you come up with. There are
How
a number
about
of
if you
different
use.
ways to make a streamlined front end. Maybe even try a bullet nose design where it's like a half sphere at the front.
You could use an actual Lego shark. Then it'd be a true Lego shark front end.
Oh my god, where is it? There it is. You mean this one? Here we go. Actual creator shark set. Do I have it built up? I should do.
I
Where is
didn't.
it?
No, I didn't actually mean the creator one. I meant the minifigure scale shark.
This one's better. There we go. So the reason why I just happen to have this set is because for Bristol Brick Show, we had a social event on the Saturday evening, One of them was a build challenge to build this as fast as you could. And I now have two of these because one of the club mates didn't want theirs.
You totally need to make a train with that on the front.
I think Will said that. It was on that weekend as well, where he said it's not impossible to do that, where you can put a circuit cube, because the Shark model is done in sort of 3 units. You've got the head piece, the body piece, and the tail piece. If you get looser connecting points between the 3 units, that frees it up to articulate around points and corners. Get some wheels underneath, that's fine. And you could have a circuit cube. Well, he said you could put a circuit cube in the middle units, or like the body units, and that's how you can make it go around the tracks. So Will has something going for that. Well, at least he had an idea for it. So I'll have to remind him after the live stream. But yeah, if you want to try and redo, that's actually not a bad idea in the sense that obviously shark nose streamlining is a thing, but if you look at that sort of shape, it's not a bad shape. So if you're able to build this, minus the moving jaw piece, of course, but if you had that,
you could build some sort of piston off of one of the wheels that actually makes the jaw go up and down as well.
there's a lot of potential for this to be turned into a more functional item, which I'm pretty sure someone is going to inevitably make.
You be careful putting your fingers near that mouth, you'll have them off.
Don't worry, he's looking after my injured thumb. Going onwards, you could probably stick bricks in a. Oh, this is going back to the discoloring of bricks. You could probably stick the bricks in a UV curing thing used for resin 3D prints.
Oh, possibly.
What is it? What's a UV curing thing? That doesn't seem very specific.
Something to do with 3D printing.
Well, Joe 3D prints with resins, and maybe he's got one. That's a well. I'm not going to chat to him about that, but maybe that's something you could try one day.
Yeah.
Right, we have now hit the 1 hour mark, and it is now 9 o'clock. So traditionally, this is where the stream ends.
Would you like a Glasgowbricksubway exclusive before we end?
Yes, please. Let's have it.
I'm building something new with 10 gronks in it.
Are there any more details that you're allowed to give?
There's one regular scale, and then the others are narrow gauge, and it's a showpiece. It's a display.
Does this include the many lines of track that you showed us like a month ago or so?
Yes.
It's to do with that.
Yes, it does.
Speaking of showpieces, have you made any, or have you at least remembered the existence of your idea to make the sort of front end of Henry trapped in the tunnel?
Yeah, it's still that's going to happen at some point. Yeah, it's going to be like next to the subway station or something like that.
Should be good. 10. So if 9 of them are going to be narrow gauge gronks. Oh my god. Did you win any of the trophies from either member weekend?
I did not, but that is the design.
Okay, I was going to say, if you won one of the trophies, I was hoping you would have won the Gronk one, and you can use the actual gold one as one of your mini Gronks.
It would be the wrong colour, though.
Oh. Not in gold. When are we getting a G gauge Gronk? No idea. How tiny is G gauge? G
gauge.
Is it? I'm guessing that's small.
I don't know. Is that garden gauge?
1 to 24. So yeah, probably garden scale. It's bigger than Lego scale.
Okay. Not in my lifetime with Lego. It's not that.
Nah.
So it's like, where would you get the bloody wheels?
I mean, we probably could use the wheels from the UCS Hogwarts Express set. Those wheels are massive. Oh my god, I still need to make monster truck wheel Gronk.
Yes,
That's
yes,
something
you
to do
do.
one day.
Someone made that Harry Potter train actually mobile, and they used the outdoor track.
I'll have to. I think
Uh,
I didn't see the video or pictures of it, but I remember seeing somebody say that as well not
yeah,
too long ago. So I'll have to look that up.
it was at the Sheffield show, and he'd got
Mm.
just a loop, and it was just going round and round. It fit perfect.
Or whatever Hogwarts Express is. It's gauge 1. So yeah, G gauge, gauge 1 might be the same. I don't know.
Mm,
Not our gauge, basically.
yeah.
Right, I think that will do for this live stream. It was actually quite fun to do this again. You know, it's been 5 or so weeks since the last stream was done properly. But yeah, you know, I suppose it was, you know, not bad in the sense that we actually got people back in. It was a bit of a slow start because, you know, again, I'm not having done one in a while. It's probably going to get going, you know, take a moment to get going before people come back into the streaming format.
Yeah.
I don't know when I'm going to do the next podcast episode. I still need to find who's readily available for it. I will get in touch with a couple of people. I'm trying to avoid members again. We've got another project dedicated for that. That's pretty much it from my end. In time, I will be doing showcase videos on the 2 Thomas characters I mentioned earlier. And yeah, that's everything from my end for now. Anything else from you, Chris?
No, I can ask Christoph Muller if he'd like to be in a podcast with you.
Maybe that Cremula guy's got an open schedule.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. That Kremler's a bit of a weird guy. Bit odd.
Right, so that will do for this live stream. I will update the description with. Do you want me to link your stuff in the description?
Yeah, feel free.
I think I did it with the previous 2 people I had guests on, so only be fair.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
people are shouting wrong, so I assume they know who I am anyway.
I need someone to also clip the bits where I went to go grab the models and he took over temporarily with the Glasgowbricksubway show segment. Somebody clip that for me. I'm gonna make that. I'm gonna upload that as a stream highlight. Because after a live stream is done, I have to wait until like the next day for the processing to completely finish before I can download it. And that I could download the stream, clip that bit myself, but again I have to wait a lot of time before YouTube allows me to download it in the first place. So I think it might be
Right.
quicker just for someone to clip it. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Chris, for coming on.
You're welcome.
Not quite the exciting stream return as I hoped it would be. Again, bit of a slow start, but we got there eventually. Thank you so much to everybody who came along and tuned in. Sorry that not every comment or question was read in the chat, but it was a lovely conversation. It's so good to see you all again. I might try a different time in the future for streaming. I know I've said this a number of times, but if I stream again in the future, it will be good to just do it in a different time zone. I remember when I did the, I don't know, 5 or so hour train scrapping stream, I started in the morning, like late morning, and loads of other people came in, so that was pretty good for that.
Yeah.
So something to experiment with in the future, but I think that will be that's all will be done in the new year. So yes, thanks again so much everybody for tuning in. I have another video coming up tomorrow. It is the Emerald Champion video in action, and there is something quite special about that video, but I will leave that for the pinned comment. So thank you once again. I shall see you all in the next episode. Bye, everyone.